Welcome to another episode of Football Talk with Shiftey. In this episode, we have all the football news plus a wrap-up of all the bigger transfers that happened in the January transfer window. And also, our new segment is back, which is called In the Naughty Corner with Carlos Tevez. So, before we get into it, as you can probably tell, there's a bit of rain about. It's been raining for about 3 days now. So, Shiftey has his goggles on, as you can tell, and he's got his rubber ducky just in case he goes floating away, so he has a companion. So, let's get into it.
And now, it's time for Football Talk with Shiftey.
We start off with all the football news, and we start over with French team Lille with their midfielder Eden Hazard, who has stated that next season he will be plying his trade in the EPL. Chelsea, Man United and Man City are all interested in the 21-year-old. Theo Walcott might be on his way to North London rivals Tottenham next season, as Arsenal won't match Walcott's demands. Wenger has stated that if Theo won't agree new terms, then it's better to sell the player than let him go on a free, which is true. Barcelona player Alexander Hleb has been released from the last 6 months of his contract after both parties reached an agreement over the termination of his deal. Chelsea's John Terry has denied racially abusing Anton Ferdinand and will stand trial for the offence, a court heard on Wednesday. Terry's barrister George Carter Stevenson entered a not guilty plea on Terry's behalf as the player did not attend the hearing. The trial will begin after Euro 2012. Now a bit of injury news, and first off, Chelsea's midfielder Ramirez will be out for around a month with a medial ligament problem. Arsenal's Jack Wilshere has now been ruled out for the rest of the season. And Wayne Rooney and Nani are expected to return to United's lineup after missing the past 2 games. United face Chelsea this weekend. So that's all the news I have for you. We now go into the Naughty Corner with Carlos Tevez. So we're back with another edition of In the Corner with Carlos Tevez. So the transfer window is now closed, and after having 3 of the biggest sides in Europe chasing Carlos, all 3 of the clubs, AC Milan, Inter Milan and P.S.G, all pulled the plug on the Argentinian. It leaves Carlos still at Manchester City and facing the prospect of playing reserves for the rest of the season. AC Milan and P.S.G have said they might revisit the idea of signing Tevez, but he will have to wait until the summer. The pressure is now on Tevez, who is still in Argentina and will be forced to rejoin City and face the man who Carlos has stated that he has no respect for, Roberto Mancini. Mancini has been dodging questions about Carlos since the window closed, and it looks like it's going to be a wait and see what happens between the two. Carlos's only hope now lies in a move to Russia or South America, who have different transfer guidelines. I doubt a move will happen, so it seems like we all have some interest in watching over the next 5 months to see how everything pans out. Well, that's it, and that's the Naughty Corner, and now it's time to all yell out, Carlos, get in the Naughty Corner! So, hope you enjoyed this edition. We now go into all the bigger transfers that happened at the close of the January transfer window. So in this episode's Transfers and Rumours, we look at all the big completed deals from the January transfer window. There were no huge deals, but there were still some interesting moves that happened. And we started off with Tottenham, who signed a few and let go of a few. Well, one of the big names they let go of was Roman Pavlyuchenko to Lokomotiv Moscow for $8 million. They signed Louis Saha, who came in from Everton on loan, but Spurs will have an option to keep him for another 12 months if things work out. Arsenal brought in German under-21 international Thomas Eisfeld. Chelsea signed Kevin De Bruyne from Genk for $7 million and then loaned the player back to Genk for the rest of the season. Chelsea also signed Gary Cahill from Bolton for around £7 million. Everton brought in Nikasa Jelavic from Rangers for around $5 million, and they also brought in Darren Gibson from Manchester United. Landon Donovan came in on loan from the LA Galaxy, and Steven Pienaar also was loaned back to his old club from Tottenham after finding it hard to break into the first team. Now, Diniya Bilyaletdinov was sold to Spartak Moscow for $5.5 million. Fulham brought in Pavel Probniak from Stuttgart, while Socceroo defender Rhys Williams joined Fulham from Portsmouth for around $500,000. Manchester City signed David Pizarro from Roma. Manchester United brought in Frederick Vesely from Manchester City, and Ravel Morrison joined West Ham from Manchester United. Newcastle United signed Papa Demba Cisse from Freiburg for $10 million. Queen's Park Rangers were busy bringing in strikers Bobby Zamora from Fulham and ex-Liverpool striker Djibril Cisse from Lazio. QPR also picked up Federico Macheda from Manchester United on loan and Taiwo from AC Milan. Sunderland picked up Wayne Bridge from Manchester City on loan and also ex-Liverpool defender Sotirios Kyriakos from Wolfsburg. Wolverhampton picked up Emmanuel Frimpong from Arsenal on loan, and also Tottenham's Sebastian Bassong. Moussa Sow left Lille and joined Turkish side Fenerbahce. Porto midfielder Freddie Gurin joined Inter Milan on loan, but Inter have the option to buy the player for around $9 million if they choose to do so. P.S.G signed Thiago Motta from Inter Milan and Alex from Chelsea. Sully Muntari went from Inter on loan to arch rivals AC Milan. Also, Felipe Coutinho joined Espanyol from Inter. Juventus striker Vincenzo Iquinta will play on loan at Cesena. Sevilla defender Martin Caceres joined Juventus. Bayer Leverkusen picked up Tottenham player Vedran Korluka. Eduardo Vargas, the Chile international, joined Napoli from Universidad de Chile for $11 million. So that's it. That's the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Unfortunately, there were no massive deals that took place, so it looks like we'll all have to wait until the next transfer window opens later in the year. So before I go, don't forget to check out my Facebook page for all the stuff that didn't make the show on Football Talk with Shiftey. And last but definitely not least, you know the drill. Let's grab your friends, grab your family, grab your kids, head down the park or float down the park if it's raining, and kick a goal.